Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video I am doing my voice reveal. Today we're going to be revealing all the information about book 1 pages. If you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to turn on the post notifications. And let's read the first one. Chapter 1, House. So simply to get all these pages, you have to escape the maps, you have to get the pages in the maps, like all the pages in, like, all the book 1 chapters you have to get in the map. To get the pages in book 1, you have to go to chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 11, and chapter 12. So let me give you the information of chapter 1, House. I will read a little bit of information. So chapter 1, House. I was tasked to investigate reports of a missing child named Georgie. As I arrived at the Piggy's household for any leads, I began to notice things were off. It was unusually quiet and calm. A breeze of unease surrounded me as I stopped out of my vehicle. Without a moment to resist, I blacked out and woke up in the bedroom of the house with a beaming headache. Someone had knocked me out, brought me here. That's all I'm going to read for chapter 1, House. You can do it by yourself. I'm going to read chapter 2, Station now, like half of it. When I reached the station, I had found out to be unusually quiet. No officers celebrating, no criminals ratting their cell doors, nothing. Then the interim system spouted out a warning to get to the garage. The voice sounded familiar. It was Doggy, my old partner. I don't know why he showed up on his day off. Maybe it was the detritus call that all the officers received, which I was unconscious in the Piggy house. As I crept about to unlock the garage, I encountered yet another strange-looking pig. That's all I'm going to read for chapter 2, Station. You can go ahead and read it for yourself. And now I'm going to read chapter 3, Gallery. Chapter 3, Gallery. It turns out the gas can I picked up was almost empty, because we found ourselves running out pretty quick. To make matters even worse, we stopped in the middle of the city. A couple of the infected, as Doggy calls them, surrounded our car. We rushed into a nearby building, the gallery. I haven't been here since we started investigating a reported robbery last month. It seemed to be a little run as well. We quickly sealed the building, only to soon realize that the infected entered as well. It was a very strange place to see, only so calm because so chaotic. That's all I'm going to read for there. And for chapter 3, Gallery, I'm going to read chapter 4, Forest. Doggy and I had been safe and sound in this forest for weeks. We've been silently visiting small towns and taking supplies from them. We spoke for days about what we'll do when it's over. Doggy said he'll like to travel south some day and visit old mountains and ruins. I don't know what I'd do. I couldn't get my mind off the word stick. One night I woke up to discover an empty potion and a missed friend. I looked around and found Doggy. He was I forgot where I left off because I was looking at something. He was forced to. He had red eyes, not like the others. Someday I will get to know the bottom of this. That's all I'm going to read for chapter 4, Forest. I'm going to read chapter 5, School. Still recovering from the loss of Doggy, I felt out of touch with reality, like it was blur just floating through time. However, I pressed on. The radio I found in the forest interested know, to help me out and find their friend trapped in a school. Maybe if I couldn't save my friend, I could help them. I can. I could help them save theirs. That's when I get to know. I when I got to know Bunny, yeah, a sharp pooter bunny with an eye patch. She had buried herself in the, not buried, boiled. I can't really pronounce that properly, but okay. She was very kind, not the bottom thankful. Her, that's all I'm gonna read for there, since the chapter 5 school writing is very complicated. Let's go on to chapter 6 hospital. You can also get an experience with this book if you play Roblox, Piggy. Chapter 6 hospital, let's get into it. I woke up in a hospital with Bunny by my side. She seemed to lighten up when she saw my eyes open. Bunny explained that Mr. P and the researchers didn't think I'd make it, as if I showed minor symptoms of the infection. She didn't give one me, though I rescued her, so she believed it was her duty to protect me from being tossed out and deemed a lost cause. A lost cause, whatever you like to pronounce it. Bunny also told me that I woke up in the perfect time, as the place was getting evacuated. A doctor was infected and caused severe panic. I jumped out of my bed and got to the rooftop, where a helicopter was supposedly waiting for us. That's all I'm going to read for chapter 6 hospital. We're going to go on to chapter, you can get experience with this as like I just explained in the video. Let's go on to chapter 7 metro. We made our way through the hospital and down to the underground metro. Bonnie and I spoke about Mr. P. I told her my disbelief in his. I could not understand why he would not wait longer for us. She explained that lately he has been more desultory and ups with his search for a cure. Upon finally researching the metro, I started to work on repairs for the train. Bunny sat down, not feeling too well. She told me he needed to rest a little before we were going and let me her crossbow. When the repairs were ready, she told me that she was infected. I was very reluctant to believe her. She explained that she was one of the test subjects of Mr. P's cure test at the hospital. Hers did not go so well. I told her that we could find the cure and she could hold on long enough to find it. Bunny didn't want to go on as she feared putting me in danger. Alright, chapter 8 Carnival. I arrived at Mr. P's carnival to search for any leads on where he may be. Unfortunately, there was not much to be found besides an infected fox trapped in a cage. I shivered at the thoughts of how he could possibly ended up like that. I met two survivors, Zizzy and Pony. Zizzy was a cunning, skilled fencer, and Pony was a clumsy yet comforting ally. They were kind enough to allow me to join them. They told me that they were on a supply but found me on the way and trusted me enough. Alright, that's it for chapter 8 Carnival, like the reading. We're gonna go on to chapter 9 City. We've arrived at the city, a rundown mess. They set up their safe house in a hotel as if it had plenty of beds and supplies. Recently they've been running low. It was there I learned a few things about my new allies. Zizzy taught her younger sister Z and Zuzi, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, really. How to fight. Pony studied opportunity. He wanted to become an eye doctor like his father. I told them my story and how I was searching for Mr. P. Saying his name struck something in me, a negative emotion that burned inside my gut. Alright, so that's it for chapter 9 city pages. Now we're going to go on to chapter 10 mall. We chased the figure to the mall only to discover that it was Georgie, the missing child. He had deep fear in his eyes when we found him in his little fort, coupled with an awful stretch. I asked him why he went missing. He told me about his family. They visited the hospital without him and no one and came back acting strange. So he ran off to find his grandmother in the city and hope. Okay, that's gonna be chapter 10 more since the writing is very small. I know this video might be long, so yeah. Chapter 11, Outpost. The outpost was swarmed with infected soldiers. The three of us opened the sealed door of the plant where Mr. P presumably flew to. As I prepared to enter, Georgie showed up. He snuck out of the safe place and followed us. I was not pleased to see him at all, because he could have been easily harmed. It was a relief to see him unscratched, though. I can't say it was a surprise after finding out how well he managed on his own. He wanted to see Mr. P, one responsible for making his family act the way they did. Alright, that's it for chapter 11, Outpost. You can read it on your own if you want, collect the pages. Chapter 12, Plant. Mr. P's disclosure thoughts grew wider as he began to attack us in an attempt to get us to leave him alone. We pressed him in trying to get his attention, but he would not listen. He was in a world of his own, blinded by his own memory or something. It was not long before I too began to suffer from unwarned thoughts. I led though my own. Alright, that was too complicating. Let's just skip that line. I was researching for something, anything to get them see back into the real world. That was until I find Mrs. P for Mr. P's wife. I showed it to him, and that's when it what? Case back to his. Now I can't really read the writing since it's like very small for some reason. But I'll try my best. And correct me if I'm wrong when I'm pronouncing. Let's just read like the last line. What if we looked for a cure? Maybe it wasn't such a ridiculous idea. We live in a world full of sorts of people, so perhaps it wouldn't be too dull. I can't really read this long enough to case across someone working on something that could help us. The only one way to find out. I couldn't imagine working near something like this all day, or in a back facility like this at all. Alright guys, so that's gonna be the end of today's video. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications. And sorry guys, I might not be using my outro most of my videos. So yeah, and I'm going to go now. So bye.